Oh, I'm holding the microphone. Oh, I don't know what this is gonna look like, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Put my feet up. Oh, good morning. Oh God, this knee is fucked. Good morning, America. Welcome back to God's Autobiography. My name is Stephen French, and here on episode 42, we are diving into a topic that I'm pretty surprised I haven't covered yet. That is veganism. I am just about... I saw an otter pup. It's funny to me. But, yeah, I don't eat animal products. I just eat plants and, I guess, minerals and fungus and, yeah, everything else. Yeah, let's go back towards... Excuse me. Go back to the beginning, which would be about 3 years ago and maybe a month. I don't know if it was October or November that I started. Prior to that, which I've got some stories on for tomorrow, I had tried being a vegetarian. That lasted for, I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 months at most. I failed. That was actually kind of tough, I guess. Choosing to eat some things was, I don't know, it was just an extra variable that didn't work out well for me. But I had long since wanted to transition over to a vegan diet, vegan lifestyle, and I don't know, the main reason was I knew about like animal agriculture. I knew about how chaotic and awful farming situations were, and I felt bad about it, but I would continue to eat it thinking that, I don't know, maybe it wasn't easy, or I can't think of a proper excuse, but I knew that it made me uncomfortable to be that inconsistent. So that's what I set out to change. And I remember it pretty well, other than what month it was. We're shopping at BJ's. My buddy Constantine had a BJ's card through work, and I don't think we just started to go there, and I decided in just one shopping trip, like, hey, if I just don't buy any animal products, then I can't eat any animal products. And that was it. I haven't deliberately bought any animal products since then. There's obviously been like a couple mistakes here and there, not very many that come to mind, but I don't know, I made the full conscious effort in a moment, and I stuck with it for a little over 3 years now. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty proud, and it has meant a lot to me just knowing that I'm able to do that I'm able to like believe something enough to straight up change my life for it. And I've been able to do that with more and more things as time kind of keeps going forward. But I kind of want to talk about why it was easy for me and some of the, like, I guess the mental tricks that I gave to myself to make it simple. Initially, if it said anything about any animal product anywhere on the package, I would omit it as a possible thing to buy. I knew this wasn't a long term, but this is just what it was. I don't know, keeping a binary yes, no made it simpler. So I wouldn't eat anything if it has something that says like may contain traces of milk, knowing that means it's fabricated, manufactured, assembled, whatever, in a facility that also uses milk products. That those are typically reserved for people with allergies, so they'll say so with peanuts as well. I have no allergy to these things. If a trace amount is in there, I think it's gross, but I think it's tolerable. I fucking ate the shit for 25 years, so it's not gonna kill me if a small bit gets in there by accident. So for a while, I would omit everything until I had a really solid routine. Then I expanded upon what I was able to eat by, or I guess what I was willing to eat by then, I don't know, accepting things like that. Just still reading the ingredients list. If I find a new product that I didn't know wasn't vegan, I just omit it from the list. And yeah, just keep kind of updating that as I go. So now I'll buy most pastas because a lot of them will be made in a place that contains eggs or milk. I just won't buy the pastas that are actually made with eggs or milk. It's pretty simple. Found out that it's far cheaper to be vegan than anything else, mostly because it like omits the temptation to go out to a lot of places. Like I almost never get fast food now because I don't know, my options are slimmer, and I just kind of lost the taste for them after a while. It took a couple months for the smell of meat to kind of get like gross to me. It took several months after that, like I don't know, between like half to 3/4 of a year for like the smell of cheese to be kind of like repugnant. Like walking through a deli or a cheese aisle it's pretty gross. I'm not like traumatized, it's nothing like that, but the smell is like, it's not associated with food anymore. It's associated with waste, and it's pretty gross to me. I don't know. I have no temptation. I'm not too driven towards a lot of the meat substitutes or cheese substitutes. I'll still try them, but I have had a cheese that tasted too much like cheese, and I started to not like the taste of it. It just, I don't know, I kind of lost it. It makes sense that happens, because as you eat things, you build a microbacteria in your gut to digest it, and it gets good at digesting what you've been eating. You'll actually start to develop cravings and like taste preferences for things that it digests well. So you literally think with your stomach. Your stomach influences your thought and your appetite. Stop eating something for a long time, you stop developing any bacteria that's good at like breaking that down, and you stop developing a bacteria that's going to tell your brain to get more of it. So the craving sensations, they do leave. Years back, I was the guy who laughed at the idea of being vegan. I would never give up meat or cheese or milk, and well, here we are. So yeah, it was simple. Another thing that made a really big difference to me was foreseeably annoying to people, and I was okay with that, because I don't know, someone being like slightly annoyed with me didn't, I don't know, that holds no influence. But it was a vocabulary change that meant a lot more to me than it may seem. It was, if somebody were to say, "Can you eat this?" I would respond, "Yes, but I won't." And it wasn't to annoy them, it wasn't to ridicule them or to be condescending to them. It was strictly to remind myself at any opportunity that this was a choice, that eating meat is a choice, and that not eating meat is also a choice. I'm not restricted, I don't consider myself on a diet. Anybody not on a diet, they have the same, I guess, criteria for eating something. If they think of something as food, and it's appetizing to them, they eat it. I don't think of animal products as food anymore. To some creatures it's not, to other creatures they'll eat things that humans will never think of as food. So like that, we're not in a concrete list where like, oh, this is food for humans no matter what you say. Like, no, I don't think those are food. Other people eat them, and that's fine, but it's likely that you don't think insects are food and other people eat them. So yeah, it's not food. So I'm not on a diet. I've been on diets through like within the parameters of being vegan, and that's fine. Currently I'm not. So that helped, just having that constant reminder that it was my choice. That actually helped me quite a bit. I valued that. I say it a little less, but people started to learn to stop asking me if I can have something. So I guess that makes it easier for everybody. I don't know, with every community, there's going to be a minority that's really angry and loud, and they usually paint the picture that like brushes over the mass of the community. Pretty much in every system, every structure has this, and it's very much true for the vegan community, although it's kind of loose to call it a community. The really loud, angry ones are definitely the minority, at least as far as like my anecdotal experience. Most of them are very like casual and calm, and like, yeah, I'm doing this for like blank reason, but I don't like hold any ill will towards somebody who doesn't follow that lifestyle. And it's been a blessing to see and to realize. I've been kicked off of a few vegan Facebook pages because they're often just full of like those really angry minority, and then calling them out for being angry is something that just makes them angrier. And then they have like the power of a ban hammer, so they use that pretty often. Trying to think, like, where are we going from here? I actually lost a shit ton of weight. I was at my heaviest 198. I think I was around 185 to 190 when I started. I got down to about 160, like 162, I think is the lowest I ever weighed myself at. And now I've been hovering at 170 for probably the better part of a year. I'm interested in putting some mass back on, so I've been buying more like protein substitutes and meal replacements and things like that. It's kind of tough with the current job because I'm looking for another job, and I'm pretty poor as bones right now. So just sticking with, for a little bit, super cheap like quantities, like whatever, I don't know, rice, pasta, oatmeal, like things that I can buy cheap and still get a lot out of it. There's always a potential that I could be a vegan now and not be a vegan later. I once said I would never be vegan, so I really can't predict who I will be in the future. I'm pretty confident that if I ever go back to eating animal products, it would be through necessity, through if I have any I don't know, digestive issues, if I have any nutrition issues that I can't seem to fill on a vegan diet, so far that's not the case, or at least I'm not aware of any. I'm feeling fucking fantastic all the time as far as like diet and just general health is concerned. I'm currently in my mind about whether or not I will start eating clams or the mussels, I think mollusks, whatever, like scallops, or even I don't know. They, like, I don't know, just more research has been coming out. They are classified as animals, but I think everything's a little more situational than that. Kind of should pick it apart. They lack a brain and a central nervous system. So as far as we understand consciousness and feeling, they can't feel pain or torture. I want to learn more about this to see if see if I can have a bit more confidence in my decision before actually making one. But that is, so far, that is likely to be an addition to my diet. It's a really dense protein, so that could be pretty nice. Yeah. Who knows? Feeling fucking great. 3 years deep. Here's to 3 more. And just figured I would ramble about veganism for however long this took. But that'll be all. Cheers. This is God's Autobiography. My name is Stephen French. And got some stories for you tomorrow as well. Have a nice day. Oh God. This knee is fucked, dude. Ow. No bueno.